Hey again, it's Rob. Welcome to Rob's Food Passion. I owe you an apology. I got home, I started cooking, and I was like, hey, I really ought to tape this. Makes a lot more sense to tape it because it's something I really think is an important lesson. I was kind of thinking it's a simple dinner, but it really has a good point, and that is continuity. Continuity in your meal is really important. So when I asked my wife what she wanted for dinner, she said, I want fish. I thought, fantastic. Little rice pilaf to go with it, and some vegetables. But I want to connect them in some way, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as we go through it. So you're going to get some recipes, be a lot less measuring tonight, but that's okay, some, not a lot. And then you're going to kind of learn what I think is important in terms of having each dish touch each dish. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So tonight, I kind of started prepping and then was like, hey, maybe I ought to just prep on camera and let Ken edit it out when he gets a chance. So Ken's going to have some editing fun with this one. So I'm going to peel carrots on camera and everything, but you're not going to see most of that. So hang in there with me and we'll get started in just a second. So as I said, I had started prepping and realized this is something that would be really easy to film, and a lot of stuff's going to be going on at once, so you kind of got to stay with me, and we'll talk about that at the end, okay? So what we're doing tonight is fish. Now, I had some frozen salmon, and guess what? It's still frozen. Doesn't matter. I had some flounder, chucked it right in here. What you see is green on the bottom of the pan's a little olive oil. I threw some olive oil in the bottom of the pan, put them down there just so they wouldn't stick. We're good, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them in the oven at 425. It's preheating right now. It'll be hot enough in just a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of poach bake them in a little white wine and lemon juice. And then I'm going to have a sauce that's going to use the basis of what was the fish cooked in. And we're going to add some cream and some crema, which we'll talk about, some dill. It'll be fantastic. Also doing some grilled asparagus. And we're going to cook up some Brussels sprouts. And I'm making a rice pilaf. So let's get the fish done first, okay? So fish is pretty simple. In the pan, real difficult so far, right? What I've got here is about half a cup of lemon juice. And how I came about that lemon juice, let me show you, is like this. Lemon juice, like this, out of the bottle, yes, out of the bottle. And it doesn't taste the same. It's not fresh lemon juice, it's concentrated lemon juice. But I also happen to have a lemon, but I didn't get a half cup of lemon out of one lemon, and lemons are not cheap. So I use one lemon, squeeze it in there, and then I just kind of top it off with this. So I get the freshness of the real lemon juice out of this, and then I get the bulk out of the rest of it. And in the end result, it's going to be in the sauce. It's not going to matter a ton. So I'm going to take that half cup of lemon juice, and I'm just going to pour it right in there. Okay? Now, the other thing that's going in here is about a cup of white wine. But Rob, you don't drink. No, I don't. And I hear chef after chef after chef on food shows say, don't cook with wine you wouldn't drink. Well, I wouldn't drink any of it, but I love to cook with it, okay? Now listen, there's people that in my church, I'm LDS, and wine, that's why I don't drink. Not to mention the fact that being drunk just doesn't look all that appealing, but nonetheless, there are people that would say, oh, we don't cook with wine either. Man, you gotta be careful what you order in a restaurant then, because they cook with wine a ton. So all the alcohol cooks out, and it does do great things for flavor. In fact, when I make a red marinara sauce, I use alcohol because there are flavors in tomatoes that are only released by alcohols that can't be released by water. So I'm going to take about 2 bowls, or about a cup, of the white wine, and it's just going in. So I got about a cup and a half of liquid. Now that's a little bit bigger pan, as I'm sure you can see. It is not a 9 by 13 pan. It's actually my lasagna pan. Well, Rob, why in the world are you using your lasagna pan? Well, 2 reasons. First of all, the fish fit in the bottom really nicely. And secondly, it has that ceramic coating, so it won't stick. If I have it just like a standard metal pan, it runs a chance of sticking a little worse. So that's kind of problematic for me. So I like the ceramic coated pan. All that really did is give me about much liquid in the bottom so that it'll poach the fish, help the fish steam and cook. So we're going to steam. We're going to use some aluminum foil. If I can get the roll started, we're going to use some aluminum foil. Hey, there it is. Somehow the manufacturer got that way on the bottom. And the fun thing about my lasagna pan is that it is so big that unless I buy the extra wide foil, it doesn't fit. So I have to do it twice. No problem though. I'm just out of the extra wide foil. And I don't use this pan, honestly, except for this kind of thing and lasagna. And occasionally when I'm roasting a roast or something. So it gets used once a month or so. Not often enough that it's going to be something I have to worry about extra live oil for. But you'll see it again, I promise, because I have a friend that has said if I don't do lasagna, she is going to come here and shoot me. So lasagna is upcoming. There's a tease for you. All right, so right in the oven. Rob, you didn't do anything else to the fish? No. There's going to be a sauce on this fish. And so I don't really want to do anything to the fish because I can't control. It's harder to control two variables than just one, right? So the sauce, I can control the flavor, I can control the salt, I can control all that. The fish is a great basis. It's going to taste like fish. It's going to be delicious with the white wine. It's going to be delicious with the lemon juice. It's going to have those flavors. But if I salt it and do all that mess, then I'm going to have a problem. Quite frankly, the fish will not be bland, I promise. So, fish is in the oven. Dish number 2, rice pilaf. So, rice pilaf is pretty easy stuff. I'm going to start with garlic. The other night we used the bottled garlic, remember? Well, I had some fresh. And quite frankly, this is going to be part of this rice, and I want it to have a little more fresh garlic flavor. So, I'm going to crush this garlic with the blade of my knife, and then just chop through it. Come on, you. And again, like I said before, I don't have professional knife skills. I was not trained at Juilliard or Le Cordon Bleu. I was trained in my mother's kitchen. And apparently, as I peeled that garlic, I missed some garlic paper there. Nothing very nice about garlic paper. I just take the garlic cloves. Let me show you how I do it. I'll do one for you. First, you get the clove off the head of garlic, which in this case apparently is much like wrestling a bear. I'll put that over there, and I knock one off over here. So I've got this little clove of garlic right here, and I just take it, smack it with the butt of my hand like that, and it loosens that paper right up. Take it, and I'm going to slide that off of there. So I got the paper off of it. Paper's off. It's on the thing there. One more garlic clove. So I just smashed it with the back of my knife. Sorry about the wrestling with the paper there. So, now, I have garlic. It is chopped. I make sure it's clean of paper. I have a couple little pieces there. I just want to look through that because you don't want to chew on that. That is unappealing. I had never seen so much garlic paper in an extra thing. It's really thin, so clearly that's what I'm dealing with. So, garlic in the pan. No heat yet. No heat. Last thing you want is to burn garlic. Burned garlic is bitter and terrible and not fun. So, I need an onion. One onion. Now this onion, I like to have just chopped. And I'm going to chop this one pretty small because the rice is small. So the last thing you want is big, huge pieces of onion in your rice. I'm not making onion rice, I'm making rice pilaf. Everybody seems daunted by rice pilaf, and trust me guys, if you look on the internet, there's about 16 trillion recipes for rice pilaf. I saw a bunch of them today. Some people put raisins in their rice pilaf. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen in my rice pilaf. And some people put like slivered almonds or sliced almonds or whatever. I'm just doing something real basic. I'm not trying to get crazy with it. Again, I'm just trying to do something that the family will enjoy and be healthy for them and nice and easy. So I'm going to slice this pretty small. There we go. And then the last of that right there. And get the last couple pieces of onion that decided to try and escape. And that is done too. So, onion in the pan. Ta-da! So, onion's done, and I've just used a half an onion, as you can well see. I can add more. Hard to take it out once it's going, right? So, I got 3 carrots. I'm going to peel them real quick, and I'm going to dice them up real small. So we can edit out the peeling. Edit out the peeling, Ken. Okay, so I finished peeling the carrots, and done. So, I'm going to take 1 carrot just so I can show you kind of what I'm looking for, and then I'll cut them up. Cut it in half the long way, and then I'm going to take what I cut in half the long way and just make fingers, and again without cutting my fingers because that would really not be cool, and I'm going to make a small dice. You like big chunky carrots? Make yours big. I'm going to go small dice again. It's kind of a small dish. We want a little bit of everything in every bite, so that's how it works. So if Ken makes you watch me stand here and cut up carrots, then you can complain at him on the YouTube channel or the Facebook page. Hey, not so many pictures of Rob cutting carrots, please. All right, so I have a nice. No, that's cool. Carrots going in the pan. So what did I just make? Well, I'm not finished. I'm putting some celery in. I made what they call in France, or on some of the hoity-toity cooking shows, a mirepoix, which is nothing more than onions and celery and carrots. I added garlic to mine. Cool. They call it different names when you add different things. Apparently you can make it with a little bit of bell pepper too. I kind of like the celery leaves, guys. Some people get a little freaked out by that or don't want to cook with it. Hey, don't if you don't want to. They add a little bitterness that, I don't know, there's something about it. I kind of like it. I'm not putting the big leaves in, but as the little leaves chopped up like that, it's going in mine. So there you go. So I'm gonna turn on my light over my stove because I forgot to. I apologize. You probably thought I was throwing this in some black hole out in the middle of space. So that's done. I'm going to take my olive oil, which I left right here. Told you I started prepping dinner without you. I really have to apologize. Just a quick pour, you know, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm going to kick this on the high. And, don't like any of those. We'll just go with this. A little wooden spoon, give it a stir, coat everything with the oil. The heat will hit it, it'll start sizzling in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put some salt on top of it. Now I know, I've heard it 100 times with all these chefs usually start with a real hot pan on a real hot stove, a little shake of pepper, okay? I get that. I didn't. Mostly because I was trying to do this and trying to do that and getting the garlic in and getting that in. And if you start with a hot pan and you throw garlic in that thing, you're in trouble. But I had the garlic ready, so if I decided to do it another way, I'd have had to been stirring a lot more too. I'd have had to been, hey, stir this in, hey, stir that in, like that. So, let me get rid of the trash. And we'll get right on to the next dish. Okay, so the rice pilaf. I just cook it in one pan. Could I cook it in my steamer? Yeah, I could break out my steamer. I don't mind making rice. And my dog's gonna bark. Nelly, go outside. Sorry. All right, so the most important part of this rice pilaf is that I get these vegetables cooked, get a little flavor coming out of them, and then I'm gonna add the liquid. And the liquid, the important part about having the liquid is you got to measure it. If I don't measure how much liquid goes into the rice pilaf, I can't know how much rice I can safely add. It's 2-to-1 mix, right? 2 cups of liquid, 1 cup of rice. What I got here is 2 cups of rice. So I have to know that there's 4 cups of liquid in here or I'm in trouble. So I've got the vegetables, they're kind of sauteing a little bit, they cook down just a little bit, they're going to cook quite a long time. So I am going to add a splash of white wine. And I'm not going to measure this portion of it because I'm going to let it cook out. It's going to be dry, again, back down to the sizzle. It's just going to add some flavor to the vegetables, okay? Now, here's how we're tying it in. Remember, this is the whole concept here is we're tying it in. Rice pilaf, when you look up your recipes on the internet, I'm betting that 99.99% of them call for chicken stock. Guys, I'm not making chicken for dinner. I'm making fish. So, I want a seafood flavor to my rice pilaf. If I want a chicken flavor, I'm, you know, silly. So what I've done, bottle of clam juice. Seafoody in flavor, right? I'm going to pour a bottle of clam juice in here. I don't really care how much is in the bottle. I mean, the fact is it's 8 ounces, so it's supposed to be a cup, and it's pretty close. Now, I want to add a little more fish flavor. I also want to add a little salt. If you want to do that, this is your pony right here. It's fish sauce. You get it at an Asian store. We have several here in Greenville. The Vietnamese population here is pretty high, so we have really good access to this kind of stuff. Am I adding a lot? No, I'm not adding a lot. Okay, in fact, I am going to measure this just so you know that I'm not adding a lot, because it will add quite a punch of fish flavor and it will add a lot of saltiness. So I'm going to start with a tablespoon of fish sauce right in there, which doesn't seem like a lot. Trust me, you don't want to lick that spoon unless you love fish. So, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and top this off with water. I know you can hear the water running, you just can't And that's okay, because there's dishes in the sink that you don't want to deal with. So this is my 4-cup measuring cup, and it's full now. Clam juice, fish sauce, really good. Last thing I'm going to add to it, just a dash of lemon juice. So we've got seafood, we've got lemon juice on the fish, right? There we go. It's not going to bring in a huge lemon flavor, just a touch. See, you can hear the sizzling again. Here it starts to sizzle. That means the wine's all cooked out and happily cooked into those vegetables. So, liquid going in. Now, we're going to give that a minute. It's going to come to a boil. When it comes to a boil, I'm going to add, a cup or so of frozen peas and the rice. I like peas. But Rob, my significant other, doesn't like peas. Don't put peas in it. He likes corn. She likes corn. They like what? Okay. Sun-dried tomatoes chopped up small go in this nicely. A little bit of red or green bell pepper go in this nicely. There's 1,000 things you can do with this. Again, you're going to find recipes with raisins and sliced almonds, and the world is different about rice pilaf. You can have anything you want. We're going to add it. Okay, so put in what you want. That's really the key here. Make it taste good to you. We're going to have a visitor. So, we're going to let the water boil. While that's getting ready to boil, we're going to go on to the next item up for bids on The Price is Right. We won't do the asparagus next. We're going to go ahead and do the Brussels sprouts.
It's not quite
hot enough yet. This one is just starting to boil. So, I am going to take the peas, pow, right in there. Oh, they're arguing. They're arguing. Come on, peas. And I have peas everywhere. It's a good thing I have dogs occasionally. They pick that kind of stuff up for me. There we go. And those peas cooled it down just a little bit, but it's going to come back to the boil pretty quick. So I'll get my rice. Just as soon as that boils, we're going to set that right over here. I know a pound of rice is about 2 cups. Is it exactly 2 cups? No, it's not exactly 2 cups. Do I care? No. It's close enough, and the fluid is close enough. 4 to 2. Do I measure every time on that? No. I get close enough, because close enough seems to work. So I'm going to take these asparagus ends and throw them away, get a little cleanup done, because we're going to cook pretty high intensity here in a minute. Lost one yet. So the water, as you can see, is now steaming. It's boiling. You can't really see it in there. I'm going to put the rice in there. Give the pan a quick stir, because I want the rice to flatten out over the surface of the pan. There we go. Take this lid, and I'm going to seal it and grip it as tight as I can. And then I'm going to turn it down to about 3.5 or 4. Now, in about 25 minutes, I'm going to have great rice. So, in fact, I have a Facebook friend, and his name is Blake. Hi, Blake. And I do believe I've seen his name to like the page. So Blake, if you want Mom's enchilada recipe, it's coming, my friend. But he actually came and found me on Facebook and said when he found me on Facebook, you send a friend request and you put the little thing on there. He said, "Is this the Rob Nielsen that changed my entire definition of the word enchilada?" Now keep in mind, I hadn't seen Blake in, wow, I'm thinking it's got to be 20 years, 15 to 20 years. I'm living in South Carolina, he was living in Washington, or he's living in Wyoming. I'd met him in Washington, completely across the country, but what he remembered was the enchiladas. So that's got to tell you something about him. All right, we're going to check the rice again real quick, and I'm going to check the fish, because we're almost there, guys. I mean, really, I haven't quit filming mostly, and we're about home. We're very close on the rice. So, gonna let it continue. Gonna pull the fish. Oh, I can't, gotta turn the fish off there. turn that off so I can put the fish up. We got to make some room for the fish. That's what we got to do here. Because I've got to be able to work on this and not. All right, you just stay hot then. And there we go. Whew! Caught steam in the face. Sorry. So, quickly and easily. Man, I love it when a plan comes together, don't you? All right, so we're going to set that aside. Come on, come on. Yowza. Okay, so what do I need? I need another plate. Just a moment. And I need a spatula. Because this fish needs to come out of here. And the other thing I need is a large, flat saucepan. You'll see why. So, I get the fish out. It's very done. Oh, it's soft. It's tender. It's flaky. All kind of happiness. This is the happiest this fish has ever been. It is fulfilling its meaning for being. I'm just going to put the flounder. Holy cow, I'm trying not to let it fall apart. I'm going to put the flounder with the flounder. Kind of set the salmon over here with the salmon. Because we like flounder that tastes like flounder and salmon that tastes like salmon. I'll set that right there. Okay, now that pan is warm. I've got the wine, right? Remember the wine, the lemon juice, the olive oil? That's going, and there's probably a cup and a half of that in there. Go ahead and turn off the oven. I'm going to put this in the sink because it's hot. Get out of the way. Now, quickly, because I don't have a ton of time while that's working. You saw me chop up the garlic? Garlic's going in. It's going in now, and it can't burn. It's in a liquid. So I'm just going to really let that cook down. I really want that to cook down. And all I'm adding to it, guys, the wine and lemon juice, right? I don't have any salt in it yet. I'm going to add some salt. This is fresh dill. Could I use regular dill? Yes, I could use regular dill. Have a great time. You have regular dill, the dry, dehydrated stuff? Fine, go ahead. With fresh dill, I can use quite a bit more. I use quite a bit more too. I like dill. And with fish, come on, come on. So I'm going to chop it. I'm going to fold it up and chop it. I'm going to do it again because I don't want a mouthful of dill. I want dill in my sauce. And then beautiful. Okay? That's the last thing going in, okay? Last thing. This is crema. What is crema? Crema is kind of Mexican cream. This isn't a Mexican dish. No, it's not. But you know what? If I wanted creme fraiche, which is kind of the same thing, then it's French and it costs a ton, and I don't even know where to get it in Greenville. Crema is nothing more, well, let me kind of give you. If you took about that much whipped cream, poured it in a bowl, and added about half that much sour cream, kind of stirred it together, it'd give you about the consistency and flavor of crema. It's a little bit tangy, just a little bit. It's creamy, it's soft, it's nice. And we're going to let that go in here, and we're going to boil that down last thing too. And actually, my son put some dill in this the other night for something, so it's already got a little dill in it, but he used the canned stuff, so that's fine. Let's check how much fluid I got here. No, I really need to boil down more. So we're really going to let that get boiling down, and I also am going to add to it some cream. Why the extra cream? Well, I don't want to break the cream, and crema is a little more like sour cream, so it'd break. But if I get a little bit of cream, that's a little less than half of this, and this is a half pint, so that's a cup. What is that? It's about 4 ounces, about a half a cup of cream in there. But that's, again, it's a big pan, right? So we're going to let that cook down, and that's going to take Oh man, I'm going to tell you it's going to take 3, 4, 5 minutes at least. And then I will spatula the crema in there and quickly just knock it down. All right, the heat can go off on the rice because it is done, and we are very, very close. As you can see, we're very, very close. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup. We're going to come finish the sauce. We're going to let it boil down. So, don't move. Okay, so let's do a quick check on the rice. I think we'll fluff it up, see how it turned out. It sat here for a little while. Bring it over here to work on it. Now, when I fluff the rice, I don't want to smash the rice, I want to fluff the rice. I'm going to use a good old-fashioned fork like you use on the grill. Well, like some people use on the grill. I don't poke a hole in a steak because I don't want to release all the nice juices. So when I say that, you know, knowing that that's not what I use. So I use it for this. And what I want to do is just kind of go to the bottom, fluff it up. Yeah, there we go. There's lots of rice on the edges and all the vegetables got everywhere else, and we want people to get vegetables and the flavor components in their bite of rice. So, a little bit stickier than I would normally like it. Guess I could have steamed it. You know what? Delicious is delicious, and that's really what counts. Let's check it out. We're going to call that right there. Wow. Okay. Put the lid back on that. We're not adding one doggone thing to that. Now, this has started to make a little noise. And the reason it has is because it's reduced by about half. And it's thickened up some, and it's working on that cream, and it's getting some of the fluid out. And what we've basically done is we've infused the cream in here with the happy, lemon, juicy, white, winey, fishy leftover from the pan that we were in the oven with. So it makes a little different sound. You can see the bubbles, how the bubbles are nice. You can zoom on that? No? Okay. So now what we're going to do is, get this off the lid because waste crema not, want crema not. Now remove it off the heat. Take the crema right in here. And again, the acidity, what little there is in the crema, will really match nicely with the lemon juice and the white wine, because those are acidic as well. And we're going to get one more hot pad. Again, guys, we're living here in the house. We're not in a fancy dancy studio. I don't have the best of everything. In fact, that was an old, it's made out of plant material, some sort of grass or something, and it was coming apart. So my mother-in-law, who's really good at this kind of stuff, took and knitted it back together with little red yarn. So it does a nice job. Now that's good consistency. The dill, nice big, huge helping of dill, right in there. We'll stir it right in. And we'll taste it again because I want to make sure the salt's right, guys. If you're not tasting, then you don't know, right? I'm gonna go a little salt, just a little, not a lot. I'm gonna call it half a teaspoon, just a touch, just a taste, right? So if you want a little saltier, hey, guess what? Boom. I'm gonna add just a dash of pepper, not a ton, just enough to kind of get that little hint of it coming through. We're gonna go again. Wow, that has a really nice sour creamy note without being sour creamy, because who would really want sour cream on their fish? Might be, you know, I would, but you wouldn't put a big dollop of sour cream on your fish. That little note, that little hint is nice. So again, just want to coat the fork a little. Happiness, right there, done, done. So I'm going to yell at my family. We're going to eat. We have the asparagus grilled, it's softened. In fact, if you want to know how much it's softened, here, we'll pick up this. See, it's just a little floppy. Still crispy though, still delicious. Oh man, still good. The Brussels sprouts with the bacon. Again, if you don't think you like Brussels sprouts, either come have them here, buy a plane ticket, and I will feed you or go ahead and make them this way, because super delicious, super delicious. Fish is done. Fish is really going to be a vehicle for the sauce. The fish will be taken care of by the sauce, and it'll be delicious because, again, the lemon juice and white wine in that is going to be great. The sauce will really touch that off. So rice, clearly, on the side, it's where you want to be. Appreciate you joining me. Appreciate you watching. I have been at this for 1 hour. And that's top to bottom, start to finish, done. Including the filming, including sending my son out of the room for being loud, including sending the dog to my room because she was barking at the neighbor kid. All of it, 1 hour. And the rice, that's top to bottom. I mean, rice takes 25 minutes to cook. So everything else just was kind of on top of that. An hour of my time to feed my family a good meal is not too much to ask. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about feeding them. I'm passionate about feeding you. I'm passionate about people eating something they like. And, you know, am I going to tell you this is the healthiest meal in the entire world? No, I'd be an idiot. I just put cream and bacon and stuff. But you'll like it. And if your kids want to eat vegetables and you think they want to eat Brussels sprouts, you put one of those in their face. My goodness, I can tell you, my 9-year-old, my 12-year-old, they're going to be excited to see this. So, thanks for coming back to Rob's Food Passion. I hope you can find something you're passionate about as I'm passionate about the food, and share it with somebody. Share it with somebody. And share us with somebody that you know that loves food and just needs some new idea somewhere. They might just catch one little thing that they want to try. Hey, fantastic. Maybe they just don't know to use coarse salt. Who knows? Appreciate you coming back. I'll see you again on the next episode. Thanks.